Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, when you picture your golden years, what do you see? Maybe a cosy cottage by the sea, a family home filled with memories, or perhaps even a chic city apartment. But for a long time, the dream of retirement was tied to home ownership. We all just assumed that by the time we hit our 60s, we'd have a house with no mortgage and life would be simple. But the reality for many people today is looking quite different. A recent report by the Centre for Aging Better revealed that a number of older private tenants in the UK has actually reached an all-time high. That's a huge shift, and it means more retirees are having to cover the cost of rent while living on a fixed income. Now, this isn't a failure to plan or a sign of financial mismanagement. It's a reflection of a changing world. Maybe you had to sell your home earlier in life. Maybe your job required you to move locations frequently. Or maybe just choosing to rent was your choice for freedom and flexibility. And whatever the story, navigating the rental market in retirement requires a new approach. So what I want to do now is dive into 3 strategies to help navigate renting in retirement. And the first one is fairly obvious. It's financial planning. This is your most powerful tool. And I know you're thinking it's a bit of a no-brainer, this, but when you're a renter, the importance of a solid financial plan is amplified. You don't have the option of selling a property to help you fund retirement. So your savings become your security. This is where maximizing your pension contributions during your working years can make a huge difference. And one of the most effective ways to kind of supercharge your pension is to consolidate the old pensions you might have lying around. And it's easy to lose track of old workplace pensions as you move from job to job. And by bringing them together in a single plan, you can potentially reduce the fees you're paying and give your investments a better chance to grow and compound over time. It's like gathering all the scattered puzzle pieces into one box so that you can see the full picture. But you do need to be aware, though. Check the small print on your pension offers. Some of them offer built-in benefits such as additional death in service. So don't move a pension unless you understand what you're losing by making the move. Now, speaking of workplace pensions, if you are employed, you're likely to be enrolled in one and benefiting from employer contributions. Thanks to auto-enrollment rules, your employer is actually required to pay a minimum of 3% of your qualifying earnings into your pension, while you have to pay a minimum of 5%. But here's a tip. Check if your company offers matched contributions. Now, many generous employers will actually match payments up to a certain limit. So if you increase the percentage that you pay, they'll increase theirs as well. It's essentially free money for your retirement. Now, remember, auto-enrollment isn't just for full-time workers. even if you're part-time, as long as you work in the UK and you're between 22 and the state pension age and earn over 10 grand a year, then you're eligible. And if your annual salary is between 6,240 and 10,000, your employer doesn't have to automatically enroll you, but they can't refuse you if you ask to join. So it's definitely worth having that conversation with them. And don't forget about tax relief. This is a massive benefit that helps your savings go further. Now, most UK taxpayers can get their tax relief on contributions up to £60,000 a year, or 100% of the salary, whichever is the lower. Now, if you're a basic rate taxpayer, for every £100 you put in, the government adds an extra 25%, turning your £100 into 125. And additional rate taxpayers can get even more. Now, for those who have some extra cash to spare and want to top up the pensions, you might be able to use the carry forward rule. And this allows you to carry forward any unused allowance from previous 3 tax years. It's a powerful tool, but make sure you do understand the rules fully before you use it. Now, beyond pensions, budgeting is another essential skill. So start by getting a realistic estimate of your future rental costs. Think about where you want to live and what kind of place you'd like. And remember to factor in inflation and potential rent increases over time. Then build a detailed budget that covers all your living expenses, from groceries and utilities to healthcare and hobbies. And this will actually help you see exactly how much you need to save to live the life that you want. And the second thing is about rethinking your housing options. Private renting offers incredible flexibility, allowing you to live kind of where you want, when you want, without that long-term commitment that comes with home ownership. Plus, things like maintenance and repairs are often the landlord's responsibility, and this can save you both time and money. However, there are, as we know, downsides, particularly around longer term security. And the fear of sudden rent increases or a landlord selling the property can be a real source of anxiety for many. One way to combat this is by trying to secure a long-term lease from the get-go. Alternatively, you can look for properties that actually specialize in renting to retirees. These often come with more stable, accommodating contracts designed for the needs of older tenants. Also, I'd say don't overlook other options either. Now, social housing can be much more affordable and sometimes comes with tailored support for retirees. And there are also retirement communities which can provide a great sense of community and security, given amenities and a chance to connect with like-minded people. So the third thing I wanted to talk about is claiming benefits and finance support. Now, even with the best financial planning, sometimes your pensions just don't quite cover all your living costs, especially as a renter. And that's why it's important to explore any government benefits you might be eligible for. Look into things like housing benefit, which is a payment designed to help low-income individuals cover the rent. There's also, of course, pension credit, a benefit that's specifically for low-income retirees. And pension credit has two parts. There's the guaranteed credit, which tops up your weekly income, and the savings credit, which is an extra payment for those who have actually saved for their retirement. Now, these payments can seriously improve your financial stability. So make sure you check the criteria on the gov.uk website to see if you qualify. Your local council is another great resource, and many councils offer support to retirees looking for suitable housing, including financial assistance and advice. They might even have specific programs for older adults, like grants for home modifications to improve accessibility or even energy efficiency. And finally, don't forget about charities and non-profit organisations. And charities like Age UK can offer great support, from helping you to find suitable accommodation to understanding your rights as a tenant. And these resources are there to help you to navigate the rental market with confidence. Now, renting isn't a compromise. It's simply a different way to live. It can offer freedom, flexibility, a sense of community, but to make the most of it, you have to plan ahead and understand all the support available to you. Now, we've all seen the latest narrative, right? The ultimate dream of retirement is about home ownership and being mortgage free and spending your golden years without a burden. It's a goal that has been passed down for generations, but what if I told you that in both the UK and the US, a major shift is happening actually? More and more retirees are renting, and the numbers are climbing faster than ever. So what I'm going to do now is have a look and compare the situation in the UK and the US to see how this trend is playing out on both sides of the pond. So first, let's look at the UK. Now, a recent report from the Centre for Ageing Better revealed that the number of older private renters is at an all-time high. And to put a number on that, research shows that since 2010, the number of households in the private rented sector headed by someone aged over 55 or over has grown by a staggering 70%. Now that's massive. While the overall number of households in that age group grew by 20%, the number of renters grew by more than 3 times as fast. And it's not just a London thing. While the numbers have actually slightly decreased in Greater London, the vast majority of other local authorities across England saw an increase in older renters. This is creating a new challenge for retirees. For many, a significant proportion of their fixed income is now going towards housing costs. In fact, one study found that retired private renters are spending a whopping 44% of their income on rent. Ouch. That's a huge slice of the pie, and it leaves a lot less for everything else like food, bills, and, actually enjoying your retirement. Now, let's hop across the Atlantic and see what's happening in the US. The story is actually surprisingly similar. The number of US renters aged 65 and over increased by 2.4 million in a single decade from 2013 to 2023. That's a 30% jump, making seniors the fastest growing segment of the entire rental market. It's a huge shift in a country where home ownership has always been a core part of the American dream. So why the change? Well, a big part of it is the same reason we're seeing it in the UK. That's affordability and lifestyle. So high interest rates, soaring home prices, and a lack of available housing, especially for those looking to downsize, are making buying a new home financially unviable for many retirees. But there's also a choice element at play. Many US seniors renting offers a chance to escape the burdens of home ownership, like property taxes, rising insurance costs, and the hassle of maintenance. Well, think about it. No more mowing the lawn in the heat, no more worrying about a leaky roof, and no more dealing with endless repairs. Many seniors are actively choosing this kind of low maintenance lifestyle. In fact, a lot of the growth in the US has been in these Sunbelt states, like Florida and Texas and Louisiana, where the weather's really hot and the cost of living can actually be a bit lower as well. Now, the data from both countries tells us the same thing. The landscape of retirement is changing. And for many, a secure retirement no longer means owning the home outright. Instead, it means having a solid financial plan to manage rising rental costs and a clear understanding of what support's available. Now, it also highlights some key differences. While both groups of older renters face financial pressures, the reason for renting in the US seems more tied to an active lifestyle choice and the desire to downsize without the financial headache of buying. Now, in the UK, the focus of the research seems to be much more on the struggle and financial insecurity of a growing number of older people. But regardless of where you are, if you are planning for retirement or you're already in it, it's crucial to acknowledge this new reality. The rental market is part of the future for a significant proportion of the retired population. I mean, what do you think? Are you retired? Do you rent? Or are you a younger person who sees rent as a viable option for when you get older? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching till the end. I'll see you on the next one.